So, virtuals, this is a selfie recording of word work because I have to walk around. They've spelled red. Spell red. Remember that when you are spelling, I want you to use the letters in the correct proportion of size. Don't make the R super big and the D super short. And unless it's a name, you do not need to use any capital letters. We also don't want to draw pictures because that's distracting. After red, spell end. End. Yes, I know. 3 letters. Super easy. End. Good job. After end, spell use. Use. Please don't draw pictures. Use.
What?
Take the Y and the O off. Use. Very good. It sounds like you start that out with Y-O-U, but you do not. It's just U-S-E. After use, spell rude. Rude. Now that's going to use 4 letters. Long U. Good job. You can spell this 2 ways. You can spell this with a double O, or you can spell it, I just pressed the erase button. You can spell it R-U-D-E, or you can spell it R-O-O-D. Which one would I find in a book?
R-U-D-E.
R-U-D-E. Even though R-O-O-D sounds the same, it's not how you spell it. Okay, some words have the same sound and they rhyme, but they're not spelled the same. Yes, sir?
Is that a real word?
I don't think so. Not unless they use it some weird way like advertisers. All right, now I want you to spell fund. Fund. If I have a Christmas fund, I'm saving money and putting it in a fund. Remember, no capital unless it's a name. I know that's a habit, but we don't want that habit to appear in our writing. Fund. Yes, ma'am. Any what? No. All right, after fund, I want you to spell fuel. Fuel is a gasoline or kerosene or something like that used for energy. We burn it for energy. Make sure that L is tall or it'll look like an I without a dot. After fuel, spell line. F-U-E-L. U-E-L. Line. Remember, no capitals unless it's a name. Now, we spelled the word fuel. It rhymes with dual. Fuel. Duel. That's how you spell it. Fuel. After the word line, I want you to spell under, which can be used as a prefix. What?
Can I go use the restroom?
Yes, unless you can wait. Under. 2 syllables. That means it's going to have 2 vowels in it. 2 vowel sounds in it makes 2 syllables. After under, spell reuse. Put a prefix on there, re. What does that prefix mean, re?
Do it again.
Do it again. Nathan, spell reuse, please. Reuse. Reuse. Good job. It has a prefix on it. It means to use it again. Spell it, please. I know, I didn't see it, though. That's why I want you to leave it on your board, because I'll look at it as I walk around, make sure it's all right. Good job. After reuse, spell refund. Go to the store and get a refund and put the money back in the bank. Refund. Good job. After refund, spell refuel. Yep. Refuel. If you refuel, it means you're going to fill the car up again. Refuel. After refuel, spell friend. Friend. Remember that friend is going to have 2 vowels. And there's lots of different ways to remember which one comes first. Some people think of it as fry end. I remember that I have a friend, so I put the I first. And then there is the I before E, except after C, chant. Yes. After friend, spell endless. This lesson is endless, meaning it has no end. A suffix was added to the end of end. Endless, yes, it does. Endless. 2 S's. L-E-S-S, 2 S's.
My sister has a teacher that's really boring.
Oh, I'm so glad you don't.
No, I definitely don't.
After endless, spell redness. Redness. My face had redness from being so hot.
Is that a word?
Yeah, but it didn't sound very good when I used it, did it? No, that was not a great example.
My face has
Redness. The next word is rudeness. Rudeness. Don't act with rudeness. After rudeness, spell underline. Compound word. Under and line. So it means a line that goes under. Now you're going to spell friendless. Friendless means you do not have a friend. Friend, fry, and less. Friendless. Good job. L-E-S-S means you don't have that thing. Joyless would mean I have no joy. All right, now you're going to spell friendliness. Friendliness. There's a spelling rule happening here. I want to see who remembers. Friendliness. Now, be careful with you spelling a friend up in here that I can't really read right now. Friendliness. You got it. Friendliness. You remembered. Now, I gave this word a little bit as a trick. Yeah, that's it. I gave this word a little bit as a trick because there's a spelling rule happening here. We're going to spell friend, F-R-I-E-N-D. Then we're going to make it friendly. And then I have to change the Y to an I. Yes. Go ahead. Change the Y to an I. And add N-E-S-S. Friendliness. When you have a word that ends in a Y, you're going to have to change that Y to an I before you add that suffix on it. The next thing that you're going to spell is unfriendliness. Unfriendliness. We have a visitor. Would you like to be on our selfie-recorded virtual lesson, Dr. King?
What does that mean?
That is like literally our selfie-recorded video lesson
Oh.
of making words for our
Yes,
virtual
hello.
students.
Oh. Good morning.
Not even playing.
Good morning, everyone.
Unfriendliness.
That's a long word.
That is a long word, and it means that you are not acting in a way that is friendly or in a way that a friend would act. That is a very long word, but you can do it because you know all the little parts. Okay? Now, the next thing that you're going to do, you erase everything you've got. We're going to work on homophones. 2 doodles. I'm going to give you a word that means the same, or it sounds the same, but it means different and it looks different. Okay? Yes, sir.
Can I have a marker because mine stopped working?
Yep. You're going to do a doodle. There you go.
It's okay.
You're going to do a doodle. That means a quick little drawing, not Mr. Krieger, of these words. They sound the same, but they don't mean the same. And they both say berry. 2 pictures. Here's the words. I did not. I just turned it off. All right, give it a second. The word berry, B-U-R-Y and B-E-R-R-Y. 2 pictures.
There it
B-U-R-Y. There's the first one. Move my head. And the second one. I want a quick doodle for those pictures. Doodle is not super art. Got to spell both words. I want to see the words. I want to see a picture. If you don't know what one of them means, put a question mark. It's totally fine. Sure. Yeah, good job. I've seen lots of different versions of this, but as long as you understand the meaning, you're doing something correctly. Okay?
Can you bury a person in the ground?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Now, I've seen a picture, Nathan. Pictures, buddy. Pictures, no words. I've seen somebody like draw a hole and have a little creature with like the bone in the hole. Okay, that would be to bury. Some people did like, R.I.P. Someone's been buried because they have died. All of those means bury. B-U-R-Y. In some places, people don't pronounce this bury. They pronounce it bury. Okay, I believe that's what I just heard you say. And so for you, this is not a homophone at all. Okay, for me, I pronounce them both the same. But in some areas of the country, they say bury. He was buried today. Okay, and they mean that word. Now the other one, I saw lots of versions of fruit. Okay, so a berry, if you drew like a cherry or something, that's a berry, or a strawberry, or a blueberry, or raspberry. That's what the other means. Okay, now erase your board. We're going to do an antonym now. A synonym. A synonym means the same thing. Synonyms, a synonym, it means the same thing. So I want you to write for me a synonym for bother. You write another word that means the same as bother. Bother. Not a picture, just a word. Okay. Another word you could use instead of bother. Yep, I use that one too. Yep, we got that one a lot in my other class. Think of it as he is bothering me. What word could you use instead of bothering? I see the word annoy, annoying, irritated. Channing put his brother, so I guess it would be the same thing. A bug, your brother, all those things bother you. You could have used aggravating, if you've ever heard the word aggravating. All of those are synonyms for bother. All right, erase your board. This is a multi-meaning word. A word that means, has 2 different meanings, but it's spelled the same. And it is pupil. Pupil.
How does that have 2 meanings?
Well, if you don't know the second one, put a question mark. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to figure this out.
Do we draw it?
You draw it. This is a doodle. Go ahead. Spell the word and draw 2 pictures. I want you to spell the word because that's going to help you remember what it is. Now, most people in my class only got one of these.
Is that right? Oh, I know.
Depends on what's happening here.
That's the little one and the big one, like a kid.
Sort of. All right. Most of you got the eyeball. The pupil is the center of your eyeball. Most people got that. The other one, I'll draw a picture. Somebody in my class figured out my picture, which is shocking because my picture is so bad. Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Is it nice?
That's supposed to be a desk. Terrible.
I thought the pupil was like a caterpillar or something. No.
So what's the pupil in my picture? What?
Learning.
Learning. So who's learning?
The student.
Student. Pupil means student. It's your eyeball or it's a student. A word that has 2 meanings. All right, the last thing that we're going to do here is our antonym. An antonym's an opposite. Ants are little and I am big. You write an antonym for this word. An ally. Don't tell me what it is, but write an antonym for it. If you do not know what the word ally means, then you're going to have to put a question mark right now. I will tell you in just a second. If you don't know what ally means, then you're not going to be able to figure out the opposite. Yes. But I will tell you in just a second. Some people know what ally means.
Look what I said. Thanks, Russia.
Oh, Russia.
You know the answer? No. Okay, your lid went back there, I think, right in your hand. All right. An ally is someone who is on your side. So your ally is someone who's on your side. If it's a war, it's someone who's on your side. If you're playing a video game, it's the people on your team. So an opposite would be foe. I saw this one on somebody's board. A foe or an enemy is your opposite. Someone in my classroom put Hitler, which obviously would have been our enemy. So that's what that means. An ally is a person on your side. A foe or an enemy is the opposite. Yes, ma'am.
What is a Hitler?
Hitler's a person, and he was from way, way in the past. Very, very dangerous, cruel, and we went to war against him. It's really bad. All right. We are going to 3, 2, 1. Thanks. We'll discuss all of that later. The very last thing we're going to do is doodling our word of the day. We're going to review 2 and get 1 new one. So, don't even know what that is. I want you to draw a quick doodle for the word jovial. Jovial. This is a word that we learned last week. Told you what it meant. Draw a quick doodle for jovial. Yep. Jovial. Spell the word, please. It's going to teach you the word if you spell it. I see lots of pictures, but not all of them have words. Spell it, please. Spell it. You got it. Yep. Yes.
It's a happy vampire.
All right. I see a whole lot of happy faces because jovial means joyful. Jovial means joyful. So a lot of people just drew a happy face or some version of it. Okay? In my classroom, someone drew a picture of what made them happy, which is fine.
McDonald's.
Jovial is joyful. Now, the other word that we learned last week was ominous. Ominous. Draw a picture that shows that you know what ominous means. Don't talk or you'll give away your picture. Ominous. If you're not sure, leave it blank. Maybe next time you will get it. But definitely spell it. Try to spell it correctly since it is on the board in front of you. Ominous. Ominous. Example would be, I see their ominous clouds on the horizon. I bet a terrible storm is coming. Okay?
That is a big animal.
Okay. I see some storm clouds. I see fear on her face. I see a stormy window. Ominous means dangerous or scary. So it could be an ominous looking person, and I don't want to go near them because they look scary to me. Or it could be an ominous storm. It looks like a bad storm, and so I'm kind of afraid. But ominous means dangerous or scary. You could have an ominous feeling. That's why Channing did bum, bum, bum. Because that's kind of in the movie, right before something ominous is going to happen, that's the sound you hear. All right. Yes, ma'am. It does, doesn't it? Because it had the B, B, and B. And the sound of the thud on the stairs. All right, the very last thing that you're going to work on is our newest word. And I'm using this word today because it goes with a word we used just a little bit ago. So the new word is scholar. Scholar.
Oh, I know.
Oh, don't talk because I don't want you to give it away. Some people don't know it yet. Scholar. It's spelled SCHOLAR. Scholar. So super quick. Draw a doodle. Spell the word, Nathan. Draw a doodle. Okay. It does look a lot like a word that you've seen before. Ooh, I like that, Tori. That's a good picture. Okay. That's something a scholar does.
I don't know what it is.
All right. And a lot of you have it blank, and that's totally fine because we're learning new words. Okay. And that's what someone else said was the word scholarship. A scholarship is money given to a person who studies. So a scholar is someone who studies or a student.
I thought that
It can be an adult. An adult can be a scholar if they're in college or they're taking a class and learning something. You are a scholar. A student is a scholar. So if you, somebody wrote the word study, if you drew a picture of a student, all of those are perfect examples.
isn't
Okay?
a scholarship
Now.
where the college pays for you to go there.
Yes, the college or some other group gives you money to go to that school. Yes.
Or they just give you.
All right. So for the virtuals, lesson's over, and I'll see you later.
See